I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. How valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is a documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast.
Episode 278. It's July 23rd, 2024, 8:05 p.m. doing my outdoor workout. It's day 25 of phase 3 of my first year of Live Hard. And that was probably the most comprehensive intro I've ever done with all the stats right up front. Good job. Cool. All right. So I really, again, don't really know what to talk about, but here's a thought that I just had. And I think I want to do better at sharing my wishful thinking. And I hate calling it that. And so I won't. I'm not going to call it that. I want to share my dreams and my ambitious thoughts that I have. So I think back, and I'm going to make a whole show of this in about 5 episodes. I'm going to do my best to nail it with everything that I've accomplished, which is the milestone episode. But I think back to the year of... I'm taking a new route today. I think back to the year. Oh, God damn it, bro. I dropped my fucking water. I got to drink more when I get home now. I just spilled water. It's no longer a gallon. Just like that. Fuck. Okay. So I think back to the year. It's funny how I just said that was the best intro I've done, but now it just took shit all over the show. But I think back to a year ago. And because I just got off my phone, I was looking at the date where I moved back to Utah from Colorado, and that was July 16th. So I've been back for a year and a week as of today. So 53 weeks ago, I was not living in Utah. So pretty cool realization there, I guess. I just wanted to double check because I know that I moved back last July. Didn't know the date. But I look back, I think about the progress I've made over the last year and everything. I mean, I wasn't even living here a year ago. So I think of the progress that I've made, and I think about it in the context of 1 year, like where I was a year ago, where I am today. And again, I'm going to make a whole show about this. And I just realized there's a whole swimming area park over here. The more you know, huh? There's a whole water park over here. Okay. Okay, so see, I want to restart the whole show, dude. This is shit. I'm sorry. So, done a lot in the last year. It's crazy to me to think of what I've done in the last year. When I think about what I've done in the last month, it's like, dude, I didn't do anything. What have I done in the last 3 months? Not much. What about the last 6 months? Like, a little bit. But a year, it's like, dude, I completely changed my life around. And I don't know if you can hear the background. There's some kind of farmer's market, fair, booth shit going on. Every time I walk this park, there's something going on. So anyway, I am off track again. So think about everything I've done, and I'm like, damn, that was just 1 year of my life. I wasn't even living here a year ago. And I know that I was. Technically, it was my first week back. But a year ago, I wasn't even living here. Hadn't done the 75 hard. Had no business idea. Had zero confidence. Lost a shit ton of muscle mass. Lost a shit ton of strength. I was just a piece of shit. Playing video games all day. Only working 2 days a week. Just kind of sloughing it while I was waiting for shit to go through with my full-time job. And that's it. So I think about, so all I'm trying to say is, I think about the last year, the progress that I've made. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm fucking hyped for this next year, because if this was my first year pursuing all of this, what's my second year going to be? Because the compound effect is surely going to do something. If I take all these skills now, keep on, sharpening the axe, but then start chopping more trees, I'm going to get a lot more return on the things that I'm doing. And okay, so there's a guy walking toward me. He's on the same path as me. I'm going to try to keep my train of thought going and not fuck up. So here we go. Got about 50 meters to go. Or am I fucking from the UK? Got about 50 yards to go. So anyway, because this is the first year. Here we go. So this is the first year that I've done all these things. The compound effect takes place. And then I've got all these skills I'm working on. And how's it going? Cool. And no, it didn't work, dude. I lost my train of thought. God damn it, bro. I'll keep getting better. But all the skills that I've developed over the last year, they're only going to get better as long as I keep working on it, right? So the axe is only going to get sharper as long as I keep sharpening it. And that's through all the things that I'm doing right now. And so that, with added tasks or goals of mine, right? So when I started last year, this last rolling year, when I started it, I had no idea that I wanted to really start my own thing with supplements or now coaching. You know, I had aspirations to get back in the gym, but I didn't know how much progress I'd make, how quick, all these things, right? So I'm starting this rolling year, and I can only say that in about five days. So it's still technically the same rolling year, but whatever. It's fun to think about because I've got a fresh year ahead of me, and I have a much bigger foundation. I know a lot more. You know, my attitude is a complete 180. My goals are a lot more clear. You know, I've got a good attitude. I'm pushing myself in the right direction. I'm trying to be better. I'm seeking discomfort so that I can extract more growth out of my life. And with those traits, with this upcoming year, it's getting me very optimistic about the future and what it has in store for me. And so one of the very ambitious thoughts that I had was, this is literally what I thought right before I started recording the show. So I was like, okay, if I message 100 people a day, okay, so if I sell my program at $1,000 for a 16-week program, and we'll just say that everybody who signs up pays the lowest amount that I would have available, and they only stay for the 16 weeks, they don't re-sign, they don't anything. If I get 100 of those people, that would be 100 grand in the next year. That combined with my full-time job, FedEx, and everything else, that would be almost 200 grand. It's like $175,000, something like that. But even if I halved that, even if it was only 50 people, which would be enough to replace my full-time job, it would be definitely enough money to replace FedEx. And if this is your first time listening, I work 3 jobs. I work FedEx on the weekends as a driver, and then on Sundays I clean trucks, FedEx trucks in a different station. And then Monday through Friday, or every other Friday, I work at an Air Force base and I repair F-35 fighter jet canopies. So there's that. So it'd be enough for me to quit FedEx entirely and double that. So just 50 people. That's, for me right now, that's 50 grand is life-changing money for me right now. Like having an additional $50,000 per year would be life-changing for me. So that's literally where I'm at right now. So if I get just 50 people, like this is how I'm thinking about it. So I need to work on my delivery of my thoughts. Holy shit, this is bad. So if I message 100 people per day, every day for 1 year, and there's no reason why I can't, it's just about doing it. And I don't want to send 36,500 in DMs, but at the end of 36,500 DMs, I guarantee you that my skill set with, hook, retaining, and closing a prospect would be a lot better than it is now. My idea for a good script for talking to somebody or getting them on the phone or whatever, and then having whatever. So let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say if one out of every 100 people were to sign up, that would make 365 grand next year or this next rolling year. I would love that to happen. However, I don't even know how I would support 365 clients. So that's ambitious thinking. But right now, I bet I can handle 30. So we've got a lot of learning to do. So anyway, if I had one per week sign up, That's 52 grand. So just one person per every 700 messages. One person every 700. I don't know what the math is on that. Let's look it up real quick. I'm really trying to keep these below 10 minutes. It's so tough. Hold on. How do you even do that? So it's 0.01%. 0.01%. So if I had, all I need is 0.01% of people to sign up. And I'd make enough to double FedEx and replace it entirely, gain 160 hours per month back. And then I could also use that time frame to make better content, better systems, better programming, you name it, and potentially make even more. And of course, I want to change lives the same way that my life has been changed in this last year. I actually just got chills saying that, dude. Hell yeah, that's my goal right there. If I can change someone's life the way that mine changed in the last year, damn, dude, I'm getting a lot of conviction from that alone. The thought that if somebody presented me the opportunity to change my life around in the last year, and they were able to convince me that it was possible, and they presented a price tag of everything that I went through in the last year and what it would change and how I'd be better, what would I pay for that? If somebody said, hey, this is $1,000 you can gain these skills, you can do it in 16 weeks. I would say, and if I knew it, and that's my job to be the salesman to show them that they can. If I knew that, I would easily pay. This is me. I would pay $1,000. I'm not even trying to convince myself or whatever that it's worth it. But I'm on a phone call and they say it's $1,000. You can have trace these skills, have a good attitude, positive mentality, and you'll be chasing your dreams. You'll be halfway to your first business. 16 weeks. It's $1,000. Honestly, I would say. What would I honestly say? So I'm on a phone call, a guy tells me that. What would I say? I'd probably say, do I have to pay up front? Or is it month to month? What's up? And you'd probably be like, oh, it's up front. I'd probably be like, fuck, dude. Okay, well, we're done. I think I would say that. I think, me back then, I might opt for a payment plan. But now knowing what I know, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about. Probably, so I think my honest answer is I don't know what I would have said because I know now what I didn't know then. So I don't know if I can make the same judgment, hypothetical judgment then with the knowledge I have now. But hell yeah, it's worth it. So anyway, 0.01% of people to sign up for me to double my income from FedEx, to quit it entirely. And I would actually cross the $100,000 a year mark for the first time ever in my life. So when I think about things like that, I'm like, dude, that's not that I would think, oh, that's it. That's a lot. I mean, so in terms of how many people I need to sign up, that's very low. But in terms of the amount of effort required to get that, that's a lot. 100 DMs a day, every day for a year, 36,500 DMs. That's a lot. That's a shit ton. And obviously I would have weeks or maybe even months where I don't get a client, but maybe I would have a day or two, or maybe even a full week total time. Or maybe I get 2 to 3 people per day, maybe in the future there's a week where I get 3 people a day every week, or every day of the week. So that's 21 people. So if 21 people, it's 21 grand in a week. Currently takes me almost half a year to make that at one job, It's actually how much I make in a year working FedEx part-time. So, but, it's a lot of work. I got to message 100 people a day, every day for a year. But there's no reason why I can't do that, The only reason why I can't do that, only reason why I can't do that is if I didn't want to. Or if I didn't, have the patience or the fortitude to, make it through 100 messages per day. And being 100% transparent, I don't even know. I don't even know. How do you message 100 people a day? And then I start breaking that down. So I'm like, okay, I'll go on Instagram. I'll find a person. Maybe I'll go to a sales page, or maybe or not a sales page. Maybe I'll go to a fitness page, go into the comments, find somebody, click on their profile, and then message them. Maybe that whole process takes 3 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes per DM. So that means I can get 20 per hour. So that means I got to spend 5 hours doing this every day. I don't even have 5 hours of free time to myself every day. So some of it, most of it would have to be done while at work. And I couldn't do it while working FedEx because I'm driving, obviously. So I think the numbers already kind of stagger. They already kind of lower. So I think if, realistically speaking, with the time constraints that I have, the real time constraints that I have, that would be closer to maybe 70 DMs per day. No, I get maybe 60 because that would only take me 3 hours, and I could 100% commit to that. So if I do, because currently where I'm working right now full time, it's pretty much like the first hour of the day, nobody does shit, and then the last half hour of the day, nobody does shit, and then we have break time twice and lunchtime. So if I'm being honest with myself, the only reason why I couldn't do that is if I prioritized something else over the time that I have to message people. And right now, being truthful, that would be playing Diablo on my phone, or playing chess, or now playing Minecraft. Got some coworkers to download Minecraft, and I think the idea is to play. But that's what I'm saying, dude. I think I know myself to know that it's not a good idea for me to do that, because I love these things so much, and they just suck the time out of my schedule. So me choosing or even having those available to me is just not a good call. And I'm aware of that right now because I've been playing a lot of Diablo Immortal. If you're listening to this in 20 years, right now it's a killer iPhone game. And I've never played Diablo in my life, so it's pretty cool. And I really enjoy it. So anyway, rather than doing that for 4 hours, I could be messaging people for those 4 hours and get 80 done. If I was just boom, boom, boom. But again, being realistic with myself, could I do that nonstop for 4 hours? And the answer is yes, I can, but will I? And I think the truthful answer to that is no. I'll probably message 10 back to back, boom, 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 get up, walk around, do something. This is while I'm at work, right? And then maybe I'm actually working on something. Fun fact, I haven't touched a tool or even looked at something that I'm working on in the last almost 4 total work weeks. Crazy. But it is what it is. So maybe a day is so busy that I actually can't. So I have to do all that at home. So all that to say, I think a more realistic number, especially with my time constraints, and again, real time constraints, would be closer to 60. So that almost halves my whatever you call it, my opportunity to talk to somebody. So if you have that, we'll just say 50 because that is half. So I would message 18,250 people per day. And then I would have to still get 50 people to sign up, which is about one a week. And that would be, what would that be? Is that just like 0.2%? Is that what that was because it's halved? Or would that be 0.4 because it's 0.2%, right? Hold on, let's do this math. 12 or 18 to 50. Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. Dude, I'm pulling a brain fart right now. I don't know what I'm trying to even calculate. Well, whatever. So we would just double the percentage, right? If I cut the amount in half, I would have to double the percentage of people who sign up, right? Dude, for some reason I can't think straight, and I probably sound dumb, but anyway. So if I do 50 DMs a day, Jesus, dude, if I do 50 DMs a day, I would need one person a week Yeah, that just doubles the percentage. So it was 0.0014 something something. So I think total would be 3%, 0.03%. So 0.03% of people would have to sign up, which is one every 3,000, right? No, one every 300. Right? No? Yeah, one every 300. Yeah. Well, somebody fact check my ass because I'm feeling pretty dumb right now. I'm feeling pretty dumb. All I'm trying to say with everything that I'm saying right now, if I think about these numbers, I'm like, dude, there's no reason why I can't do this. I just have to work hard and do this monotonous, tedious shit for as long as it takes. Because then eventually I can get people to do this for me, pay them to do it, and then I sit back and I mean, not that I'm not working, but if I, for example, if I switch up the whole model from me trying to get clients to me trying to get lead getters, which is somebody who gets me leads. So right now, I would reach out to people, and because it's cold outreach, right? They are a lead, it's a cold lead, not warm, not engaged. They don't really know me, they don't trust me, so it's cold lead, cold outreach. But if I applied the same strategy to get people to do that, to find people to do that for me, and they would be compensated accordingly. So, like if my program is $1,000 and I reach out to somebody and I say, hey, for every person you get that signs up for my program, I'll give you 300 commission. If that's their job, then I could have 50 people per year doing that for me. So 50 people sending me clients. So 50 times 50 DMs per day, that is 2,500 DMs per day. So we just went from 50 DMs per day to 2,500. So if you want to do the math on that, so we go 20, let's pull out the math book here. So if you want to go 2,500 per day, and this is, we're talking way out in the future, and we're talking, I mean, this is some, I don't want to say wishful thinking still. I hate that term, actually. This is some very ambitious, huge vision shit. That's 912,500 DMs per year if I have 50 people sending 50 DMs per day. And now if I get zero point 0.3 people to sign up, 0.003 people to sign up, that's that's a profit, or that's 2,737 people to sign up, which is not, I can't handle that. I can't even handle a quarter of that. Can't even handle a tenth of that, okay, by myself. That is $2.7 million. So in theory, if I spent the first year getting people to get me people for the program, and then I spent the next year selling the program, that would get me $2.7 million in the next 730 days, all in theory. So I think about these things, and I want to document my thought process with all these things so that somebody listening can understand where my head's at, kind of where the focus is, how I'm planning to make a living doing this. There's a kid screaming bloody murder. Don't know if you can hear that. Also, the sun is completely red right now. That's pretty cool. Really cool, actually. Those are the things I think about. And I've caught myself saying wishful thinking, as you just heard, because I think it's a term that people like that people say because it's just so far out of reach that they couldn't possibly fathom the idea of that ever being them. You know, like I've got a coworker, and I relate to this 100%. I even said earlier in this show that 50 grand is life changing money for me. But I've got a coworker, probably listening to the show, so shout out this guy. Keep it private because why the fuck not? And said he's got a buddy, and we'll call this. We'll say his name is Brett. We'll say that. Wink. He's got a buddy. We'll call him Brett. That makes like multiple six figures or something like that. Owns a couple businesses, I believe. Has friends that own this business. Have friends that own this business. And obviously, he's my coworker, so we're in a similar boat, making similar amounts of money. And he said that he can't even fathom the idea, or I can't remember what his exact words were. Like, just he can't even comprehend the amount of money that some of his friends make, right? Because it's just so much. Like it would just change your whole lifestyle around. It would change your whole life if you were to make, like, you listening right now, if you make 50 grand a year or 60 grand a year, 70 grand a year, just triple that. Like, would that not be life changing for you? And honestly, how you get there is just a shit ton of tedious, monotonous tasks every day and just committing to the process and just improving every single day. You know, Alex Hormozy's got this thing where he says everyone's looking for a silver bullet, but nobody's trying to have 1,000 golden BBs, which is pretty much saying instead of trying to make one thing the greatest ever possible, you do want to do that, but you can't just, grand slam your first at bat. I mean, you can, but so unlikely. Instead of doing that, focus on getting 1,000 golden BBs, which is 1,000 little tiny things that make whatever your product is that much better. And I'm actually keeping track of the things that I do with this show on a private document. And I'll have to share that with the audience here the more I get. I think I'm at like 17. Just 17 little improvements that I think make the show better or more organized or just better quality. And my focus isn't even quality at all. It's not even organization. But if I can save myself, my future self, my 20-year from now self, some work by doing a little bit now, then maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But, like my first episode didn't really have cover art. Didn't really have a solid name for the show. Nothing like that. But now we've got categories in the description. We've got a description summarizing the show. We've got tags. We've got notable episodes that I deem valuable for future listening. We've got them chronologically organized. We've got milestone episodes now. I've got an intro, outro that I don't really like, but I've got one. And I'm a lot more confident on the microphone. And I can talk a little bit better. I would say I'm a little bit more articulate. And overall, the quality of the show, even though it doesn't focus on quality, is just better. So even then, I'm just slow little sprinkles here and there that make whatever your product or service is, it's a little bit better. I mean, it's something as simple as adding a period at the end of a sentence where maybe it needs to be. If you do small things 1,000 times like that, your product will be radically different by the end of it. I think, anyway. I have no real proof for that for myself, other than seeing the show just get a little bit better as far as the quality goes. And I mean, that's it. So going back to what I was saying, it's just life-changing money. And all that I need to do to get to that side of things is a shit ton of tedious, monotonous, mundane, repetitive tasks every day. And so now it's just trying to figure out how I can do that repeatedly and make sure that it gets done every day. Because if that's truly all it takes for me right now is to message 100 people every day for a year to get, if in theory 1 out of every 100 people sign up, which is pretty fat right now for me. Like I can't even imagine that. But if I were to make 365 grand next year, I just made 7 years of my full-time job salary up front in 1 year. It took me what I would have made by the time that I turned 34, I will have made by the time I turn 28. So, and in another light, I could do that. I'm not going to, but this is just perspective. This is what I think about. If I do that, I wouldn't have to work for the next 7 years. And of course I am, but I think about things like that. That's how far ahead it puts me. So anyway, all this whole show just to say that these are the things that I think about. These are the positive thoughts and the optimistic and super ambitious things I think about. Because all I need to do now is focus on building such a great service, such a great product that someone would feel stupid saying no. That way I can have a product that, as best as it can, sells itself. So that way when I hop on a phone call or I make content or somebody sees my stuff, they can see immediately that this product is too good to be true, but that it is true and that it's way better than good. And all they have to pay is this measly payment of whatever it is relative to the value that they will be receiving. So my goal now, like I just said, is to make the program so good someone would feel stupid saying no. And a lot of what you hear me talk about now is all learned from Alex Hormozy. So, I mean, shout out to that guy. I learned so much from him. I'm very grateful for everything he puts out. It's a lot of free stuff, but it's so good. Right? So, anyway, when I get in a little rut and I start feeling kind of shitty about the things I got to do, it's like, no, it's all good. Just keep going. Keep, sprinkling some golden BBs on whatever you're making. Put it out there. Get some feedback. Bring it back into the shop. Work on it. Send it back out. See how it does. Get some more feedback. Rinse and repeat. Do that for a year and probably have just a drastically different product. If you do that for 10 years, by the time you reach the decade mark of whatever you're doing, you'll probably be in the top 1% or 0.1% of whatever product or service you're in. And this is just me, theorizing about shit. But like, you can't fail. Like, you can't lose with that strategy, right? And just keep making shit better. I mean, dude, I see this a lot. But you either die or you quit. Those are the only reasons why you won't succeed. You die or you quit. That's it. I mean, that's it. So if you want to succeed, just don't stop. So just kind of adopted that mentality. I mean, there's a lot of days, especially on phase 3 right now, where I don't want to do shit. And it's really hard for me to even think about sending a DM, let alone 100 per day. But if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do, right? I mean, I've got future kids that aren't born yet. I've got a spouse. I've got like grandkids I've got maybe my little brother has kids, and I got nephews. I got nieces who are depending on me right now to get this shit going, So this is what I think about. Like, my son's got to have a good example of a father, right? He's got to have someone to look up to. And honestly, I want to keep the session's name nice and, I guess associated with hard work. I mean, my 5-time great grandpa founded a whole fucking city here and built the first house in Bountiful. And we've got mountains here named after him, Sessions Mountains. So, like, if anything, I gotta keep that I gotta keep the Sessions name associated with hard work, success, and just being a badass, So I take a lot of pride in that. But I got kids that need a father figure in their life, that need a strong example to be better, that need a loving mother that can nurture. I got so much shit depending on me that's not even in my life yet. I don't have kids. I don't got nieces and nephews. I'm not married. But one day I will be. And tell you what, they're not going to be upset that, I'm well established. I have very good habits, very good standards. I make a lot of money. I'm able to do a lot of fun things. And all that starts with me. Nobody stopped me from doing shit except me. And there's my little TED Talk motivational speech. Also, these guys are putting strips on parking lots right now. It makes me think of Andy. So that's kind of cool. Talking about just starting. And that's what these guys are doing. This is what Andy Frisella did to get his money to start his supplement shop. So that's pretty cool. Coincidental how things pop up. But anyway, that's the show. I don't know if you can hear that, but goddamn. That's the show. That concludes everything today. I know it wasn't under 10 minutes. But you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Just a lot on my mind. I want to share it. I'm not going to censor myself, but I will try to keep them under 10. And the amount of times I've said that and not followed through is astounding at this point, but whatever. Also, in case you're wondering, yes, I did bring a blender bottle full of water to drink them out to work out so that I wouldn't have to chug right before bed. And did I touch it once while I was out here? No, I didn't. I just spilled it, so now I got to fill it up with a little bit more. So, cool. But anyway, that's all I got. That's it. So, it's 277, I think. 278. July 23rd, 2024. It's 8:39 p.m. I gotta piss, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening, and a quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds, and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.